What's up, everyone? This is Chris from GM Games, otherwise known as General Manager Games. And today we have a demo, the first look of Draft Day Sports Pro Basketball 2022. This is the first access, and full version is going to be out in about a couple weeks, but you can get a discount right now on this game. And this is one of the ones we cover a lot. So before we get started, just a quick promo for what GM Games is all about. GM Games, it's a database that covers all sports managers, general manager games. We have things from NFL, college football, hockey, baseball, all that good stuff. Just put out a story on the gmgames.org website of this game coming out. So what is it that we need to know before we get started? A few things. Here's what's new. We have, for example, new features on player personalities. We'll get into that a bit. We also have a new free agency section. Not sure we'll get all to that today in the first access. And also some contracts and new trade features. What we need to know as well is that the way the game's going to look with all the teams and the players are names are there, but the photos are not. And so what we need to do is make sure that everyone understands that when we're showing this today, that on their forums, you can go to a section for the game called mods and see that you can get from the community. Slybell here, he does all the great team names and logo changes from the fictional teams, and also that there's the GM Games photo pack that we're involved in, and we bring all the players to life. And we have some courts that were done in the past, but for the most part, all the coaches, all the players, all that good stuff, that's available in our pack. So let's get into the game. I'm going to start us up from the beginning of the league, show you an example to get started, go through quickly. I'm going to run through a period of time, but I'm going to show you how to start a league in this one. Okay, so you have some choices. You can quick start. Sandbox is without being fired, and then universe mode is a bit more control over restricting actions, adding general managers, and generally if you just want to create your own universe of different ownership. Very much like the term God mode in other games. Okay, so with that in mind, we're going to do the sandbox. And first of all, you have some choices. You can actually go and pick historic teams from the past. Jordan, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, all those kind of great ones. You can make it fictional altogether, or you can get started with some of the reality of what's coming out today. So this is the way I like to do mine. I do a default season set. We got the year set. This stuff over here, reset draft picks, delete history, not necessary. But there you also have a link here one more time to be able to go get that forum and the mods there. So just keep that in mind. Don't randomize, and now we're going to move to the next part. Once with the mods installed, you're going to get, well, this is the first one. So let's call this, we're going to do the Chicago Bulls. So we'll call it Bulls Dynasty here. This is the stuff I like to change. National Basketball Association, not league. That's the real term. We're going to put an NBA. We're going to put an NBA championship. And if you notice, the look is now a dark mode. Salary cap, I'm assuming that's set to real life around it. No random faces, don't want the auto save. We want to be a GM here. All right, then we move to the next tab. So from here, what I do is you take off, to get the real owners, you want to take off the owner characteristics. And I turn off these because I think there are some predefined personalities for players, but you could leave that for players and their ratings. But besides that, if you want the real owners, you got to take off the owner randomize. What I do is I'm going to switch to a 1 to 100 because that's what a lot of people are familiar with NBA 2K. And we're going to allow the foreign draft entry in our scouting. Current lottery styles. There's a link up with college basketball. We do this in our college basketball league. It's very cool. And you can see your college stars, Jalen Suggs, Cade Cunningham go into your league, for example. And here's just double checking to make sure from the mod, all the team names are set. You come in here, I like calling this stuff the G League, and GL we'll call it as an abbreviation, and the G League Championship. So all these ones are here. Raptors 905, for example, that's all set. All right, moving on to the next thing. We're going to call this Chris GM Games. I'll stay at 40. I'll call myself, a thinker. Let's pick a photo for this guy. Choose this one. That's a suit, whatever. But we're going to be the Bulls today just for the sake of, we got the new roster and all that. Philosophies, you can set this on your own. This is kind of the tendencies you have for pressing and whether or not you run zone. But you can do all that strategy later. Difficulty level, let's just put it on vet for now. Finalize, and we're going to create this league. So again, this is all new look. So there used to be a bit of like the grays and the whites, but now you're seeing this dark UI come in, and it's probably going to happen for all the products. But this is the first product to go full dark mode. It's very common for Football Manager, those types of games. So we're right here at the creation, and in a sec we're going to get started. I'm going to show you all the great stuff that's happening within the game. A good time for me to sip on my coffee as we wait for this part to go through. I'm not the greatest at editing, so we're going to have to wait this one and just have patience for a sec. But what's interesting as well is that, so that's as long as it takes. This is much faster than the college basketball game, which is 357 teams and a large database. All right, so here we go. We're at the dashboard. What are we looking at? We got the bald mamba right here. We got DeMar DeRozan, who's come over, and we got all the photos here in the dashboard, right? So that's the look. You can kind of see what's happening there. How about the ratings? You got Vujicic. He looks all right. We got DeMar, 4-star. Let's take a look at some of these guys. So DeMar DeRozan, you even have their history here. So you look at their player stats, look at that stuff from Toronto. And then he's a performer personality. You can see a bit of the silhouette of the icon there, new personality types. So this is what you got to deal with in free agency and different aspects. They all seem to have these archetypes. So, this is the cards are coming in, looking in like the traditional NBA.com website, wide shoulder photos to suit that, not just like crappy portrait stuff. So let's take a look at that. The staff section, that's myself, but otherwise I think it's the GM would be there, but we got Billy Donovan here. He's got a personality as well. He's a promoter. It looks like the coaches are getting a bit of that. So you got Maurice Cheeks, you got the full staff. So pretty sure this applies for any team. So for example, if you were to go over to like the new Lakers staff, Jason Kidd's gone, Fizdale, we got Phil Handy still there. So that kind of good stuff. That's the new coach heads, for example. All right, so with that in mind, let's move forward in our league. First of all, we have some emails up here. We're looking at the emails. This looks nice. This is the new dark mode mailbox. Scouting points. We could get started right away to scout. And D League. So the first stage, advanced, goes from the top left-hand corner here. We're going to run this D League draft process. There's a stage here. Another good time to sip on coffee. So we're about 8 minutes into the vid. So this is a lot of introductory stuff, but we're going to get into some of the cooler stuff now as we go forward. There we go. G League drafts coming up. This thing can it goes auto, kind of flies through. So we're going to auto run this draft. Oh, and it went past already. So draft class, here's an interesting section. So it doesn't come with the game. It may be done later, but if you're in the community, you can make a draft class. You can think of Duke's Paolo Banchero. You can think of Chet Holmgren from Gonzaga if you want to make this type of file. So it's possible, but right now there's no import that I have. The images are not set up for that yet, but this is the first access. So default, we're going to let the game make the rookies now at this point. But we're going to take a look at what are some of these new features. So we're seeing a lot of the dark mode. We're going to see maybe there's something around which teams are interested in your players. We're going to take a look at, I'm not sure we'll be able to get to the off season to look at the free agency format, but we're going to look at just generally what's around the game. So bear with me here as we just Take a little bit longer just to get through the stage, which is the building the draft class. And then we're going to get to some simulation. You're going to see some of the representations. I'm going to put the initial settings that I like to do so I can get through the games. We're on the Lakers dashboard still. We'll go back to our team. Back to Chicago. And these are settings I recommend. So you go to the game options, top left-hand corner. You wanna simulate your human games, unless so you can stop in 2D mode if you want. It's pretty easy to do that. I like to turn the injuries down. They're a little crazy right now in this game at 100%, so I like to dip that. I'm not going to stop on an injury. I'm not going to stop on each email that prompts me. And prior day scores, yeah, that's kind of like the visuals that come up. But you can also have it slow down in our game. So I might do that so you can just get a sense of what's happening as our team goes through days after days. Dashboard by last name, no, I don't like that. I like that positional one. So these are the settings that I like to do in the game, and I think this is pretty good. You can change 3-point factor, and so that's where I'm going to go with things. So let's just double check on the dashboard that the last names is now by position. Okay, you see the guards now, and you see the center at the end. Love that more. Just to let you know, you can change that over here on this dashboard. Okay, next up, we're going to play some games. Well, let's do our depth chart. So hold on, let's take a look at this. This is looking new. It's similar. It's got the color coding. It's got the matrix here that we're looking at. But, you got the lineup. What we'll do is we'll suggest things, and that looks all right. Patrick Williams, D's there. That's what we want. Caruso is getting no run right now. Maybe let's shake that up for Caruso to get a little bit more PT. And let's put him on the wing to see what happens in this game, just for the sake of amusement for us. So we're gonna take it away from I think that's Derek Jones Jr. And we're gonna move that. So we do that. We set that. You can store it, so you can come back and launch it, but that'll save regardless. There's no other save on this screen, it looks like. And you can give some individual actions here as well below when they sub out. But here's the new Bulls. So let's go in. We're going to look at the schedule. No one's playing today. You can see your upcoming games here. Charlotte, Memphis, got the Grizz, got the Hornets. We got LaMelo coming up. Who wins? Lakers smash the clip. Kawhi's playing. The injury's not set, but there you go. That's one of the first ones. Bulls here. We got Bulls, Hornets. So let's get in and see the courts and the stuff on the GM Games mod. We're going to play this one a little bit. I'm going to jump out maybe at the halftime, and then we'll simulate through. But this is the 2D mode. So if you thought this game is only like game tracker and spreadsheets and stuff, the game has evolved. So you got your starting lineups here. We got LaMelo coming at us. We got our lineup, Zach's. No stats right now to post, but this is the starting lineups for the game. And look at that court. You got the Hornets and the beehive kind of thing happening. So we're gonna turn this up. Another thing you want to do is, when you first set these, you want to turn off like a lot of the stops if you want to go fly through these games a bit more. And game sounds, I don't believe it's there, but we're not going to set it for the video. We're going to run this pretty quickly, and we're going to see what's coming out. This is new. This allows you to track the colors a bit more, kind of like Football Manager. Down here is a lot like the ESPN Gamecast, so you can pretty much focus on these areas. But as you can see, this game's moving fast, so you're not getting a chance to see offensive possessions run. As we whip through, you can do this just to see how the game's going, and you can do some coaching and subbing and stuff like that. But what I'll do is I'll pause the game, and we'll turn this thing down a bit so we can actually watch some of the action. So you can see now, you can see the clank, Patrick Williams there, that's in transition. Quick shot, LaMelo. He had the rebound, he chucked that one up. Oh, that's the other way. So Patrick Williams with the board here. You see the toasters come up, and that's the 2D mode. You can see the players and the actions happening here within the game itself. So this is one of the coolest things. If you have a big game, you can come in and watch it, and so that's a big one there. So with that in mind, we're not really going to do much more, but I really like this change with the colors allowing you to know who has possession right now. Again, just as a reminder. And who has the ball. So it used to be all blended in with the gray, but that really makes a big difference for your eyes and eye tracking. So I'm quitting this so I can run through some cool stuff and just show you what else is in the game. Here's the box scores. So if you ever want to check out what's happening, I believe there might be some game chart. Okay, so this is brand new as well. And you get to see, if your lineup or whatever's happening here, what happened in this one. So you can see Cleveland had the lead. It was tight around this point, and this chart really does give you great indication of what, like with your matrix, you can cross-reference and see when the bench went wrong. You can see it was just around the fourth quarter. So when you go and you set your matrix here in the depth chart, you can see who's getting that kind of run in that game somewhere in this area here. So that timing was when you tried to switch the bench. Although the coach will make some calls if your team's players are really tired, if you set the sub level over here. All right, so let's go back. Let's play a little bit more PB22, DDSPB22. We're going to skip that now. Let's sim as far as we can go. Maybe some injuries might stop us, but it stops on our thing. All right, so Zach got 30. LaMelo cooked us there, 28-8. You're seeing what's happening here. So the Toasters are giving you a bit more sense of the games, milestones achieved. CJ McCollum has hit a career milestone. So those historic stats are coming into the game now. And this looks great. I mean, I know I talked to Gary a little bit about the switch on the dark UI for this screen. Some of the gray borders were removed. You got that cool background look happening. It's kind of looking a bit more like some of the other more advanced games as well. So this is looking really nice for the overviews of the simulation logos and the gradients in the background. So it's starting to look really, really nice. This is going to come through to all the other products for college basketball. I think football next season, but the basketball line are the first to get it. And some good things are going to be happening in the future, especially with their game with NFL mods, the pro football for sure. All right, we're stopping on our screen so people can catch what's happening with our team. So right now, how's it looking? 2-5, not liking the Bulls right now in their run. We could try to crank out a season here really fast and see what happens in the off season. But the All-Star break has some cool stuff. So what I'll do is I'm going to stop the simulation here. And I'm going to go after this point, turn off that where it slows down for our team, and we're just going to whip through this thing. So game options. Again, if you want to watch it, you have to flag the game to watch that game. So just make sure you do that on key matchups. All right, slow simulations, taking that off. Oh, I got to pick one. All right, so that's a toggle between the three. Okay, so next, play sim. And we're going to go all the way to the All-Star break because there's some cool factor there, dunk contest and stuff. Let's see how fast this can run. Injuries might slow us down, but here's a chance for a coffee and for everyone to watch whatever they catch here, from G League to the stars and some stats. And you can see the rosters are set. Who's doing well? You got Chris Boucher trying to do his thing for the Raps there. Perhaps have these players, Scotty Barnes, Jalen Green. So Scotty Barnes just showed up there at some point. And this would be a good time to edit. Probably going to take too long. We're almost at 20 minutes into the video. Might not be able to whip through a whole season live. As you can see, it's just a little bit slow. But there's the days of how many it does take. So 105 days that it takes to get to that All-Star game. Somewhere in February, I think. But what are we in? We're in November now. So we got Jaylen Brown doing his thing. Look at that. You can see that the stars are coming out. Richaun Holmes. And so this is really nice. The game's running smooth. I got to say it's running quite fast. I run a VMware on a Mac, but this is definitely faster than college basketball. A lot less to do. All right, so we have injuries here, so I don't think we're going to be able to go through all that. But what we want to show is a couple other screens. So it paused us anyway. The Bulls are back over 500 now. Let's take a look at some stats. and we're at points per game. So who's doing their thing for us? It's Vujicic, who's having a great year in the post. We got Zach, there's Patrick Williams, who got hurt just like real life, and we got this info. We got this the ratings here in the 100 system. Here's some of the personality stuff. Planner, that's what Zach Levine's like. So there's lots of other stuff in this game. You can try the demo after the full version comes out if you think you really want to try it. Contracts here as well. Let's take one more look at this screen. And we're not in the right time of the season to be able to do some of this contract stuff, but you have the grid of how they're looking over the course of time. That's really valuable. There's a lot of insights you can get in data with this game, which is advanced basketball analytics that you can go through. Your salary versus your per and all this kind of stuff, and see how that's lining up. All right, finally, we're going to look at the trade players. So let's say DeMar DeRozan, all right, he's signed. Kind of rude to trade him after being signed. But you look around, you can, like this shop, it doesn't look like anyone's that interested. But there are some interested people probably for other guys. So I have to, that didn't actually choose someone. How about Zach? No, we need a team. Well, I think the options, when you put the player into the trade, there you go. So that's what I was missing. So lots of people want Zach. Let's see if we're trying to give, put together some trash. Who's considered trash? I like a lot of the Bulls players. Let's say our first round picks, everyone's interested in that. Let's say if we want to move on after we did that change with Derrick Jones Jr., we do have some interested parties. So it looks like the Pels need help no matter what. So that's new as well. You can zone in on these teams to try to work out your best possible, shoot your shot at the best possible trade to build your team. And you got advantages and disadvantages. So if you go to, let's say, the Cavs, let's say we're trying to sneak in Sexton, which is pretty rude. What's it telling us? We're way at the advantage. Yeah, no doubt. No way they're going to do that trade. And if you try, it's not even eligible. So cap legal, no, it's not going to work out. But it actually is under the cap, so that's quite interesting. But they can't add $3 million more in salary, so that's not going to happen. Finally, let's see some things. Team info on the Bulls, some last stuff around the game. Jerry Reinsdorf's there. All right, so that's the owner part we were talking about. Let's take a look at some of the league media. You got this kind of big news coming in. Garza's going up and down. Luka, I'm not sure he's translating to the pros. Let's take a look at some of the favorite rookies though around the league. I know everyone loves that because the draft class is in and set. So we're gonna go rookies on points. And what do we got? Cade's stepping up right now. Pistons need that help, so that's big. Gives you tendencies of what he's doing. He's passing a lot right now. You can try to talk to him about that. Give him a shout, send him a text. You can do that and having meetings and stuff of that nature with players now. Besides that, what do we got? Scotty Barnes is not, oh, there he is, yeah. It's kind of a big deal. So Scotty Barnes, kind of the gem of the rookie class right now. Is he grabbing boards too? Yeah. So you can do that kind of stuff. And it looks amazing with the player picks there. So from a rookie perspective, Steph is doing his thing too, just like real life. And probably on our next video, I might sim the whole season and just see how it turns out. All right, but that's your first access, your first look at first access. My name's Chris from GM Games. Once again, I'm going to show you our website. And keep in mind, we also have a giant Discord server. If you're not familiar with it, it has 2,300 people on the Discord server. So let's see if I can just show you just that kind of activity. The Draft Day Sports channel. I think I can drag it over to this screen for all y'all. And yeah, you're seeing that in the stream there. So if you look at the top, you come into this. We have a lot of developers here. They talk about the games themselves in our devs channel. They build the games. You can find leagues. We've got 2,300 fans of sports management. So please use the links in the description of the video. Subscribe to GM Games. We do even more videos and share our content here of what we're up to all the time in here. Football Manager series, baseball. We got football coming, and we'd say which games we're updating in our database. This is a brand new one on mobile. So check us out. Love that you guys watched the video today. Hope you watched to the end. And my name's Chris, and I hope to see you soon. Thanks.